could have. I could have.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. We have a lot in store today, so let's get started. As you can see, we are right where we left off. So let me show you what I went and picked up. I've been back and forth to several stores to prep for getting this thing out and get going. There's been a slight change of plans, so we'll talk about that, and let's check out what we got. We picked up a lift plate to pull the motor, a tilter so that we can pull the engine and transmission out at one time, nice and easy. It's probably just going to be myself, so that is going to be a big help. Got a piece of 22 gauge steel. Went to National Parts Depot, got new radiator brackets and the bushings, some sanding papers, got a cutoff tool, angle die grinder, and some attachments for it, some shock towels. We got an 80 grit Hercules flat disc, some paint brushes, some Pour 15 to do the undercoating, some gloves for that because that stuff is absolutely terrible. Once you get it on your skin, you will have a fight to get it off. Some weld through primer, some filler primer, magazines because you know we'll be ordering more parts, a magnetic tray because why not, it was only $3 at Harbor Freight, and the tool to pull the windshield trim so that we can get the windshield out and get working on getting this thing eventually ready for some paint. And these two guys is how we're going to get all this done. We're going to pull the engine with that guy, we're going to weld everything up with that guy. Instead of replacing the whole core support, I'm going to cut it off right here, and Team Z makes a tubular radiator support bracket that we're going to weld on. It's going to be stronger than the factory. It's going to allow us to put the radiator in with the factory mounts. These are the bushings that we replaced from National Parts Depot, and then we'll go ahead and get that cut off, get that out of here. The Team Z bar should be here on Monday. It got delayed in shipping. We've had a lot of rain, and I haven't been able to get out here and wrench on the car. That's why it's still in the same condition that it's in, and nothing has been done to it. Today we finally have a nice day. We can actually get to it. Yesterday it pounded us and hammered us with rain. It's been like that all week, and I haven't been able to get outside because it's been too wet. So the sheet metal we bought is going to be to repair this spot here, that spot underneath there. I'm going to cut those out, clean them up, tack weld the new pieces in, fully weld them, grind them down, cover them with chassis coat. It's probably not going to be the best job. I am not a professional welder. I am not a professional body man. I am total amateur at this, but we will make it look the best we can, and it is going to help fill in those holes, and it will be better than nothing. It'll be covered by the fender, so not much that we need to see all the time anyways. So let's start with getting all these accessories off the motor, and we'll go from there to get this thing pulled out. Alright guys, so let's talk a minute about what's going on here. So let me flip you around. We have all the AC brackets, power steering, all that stuff's out of here. We removed the sway bar, we removed the hood latch cable. I don't think I'm going to be putting that back in. I think we're going to go ahead with the quick clip hood pins, the sleek ones, the nice ones that you see, not the ones with the slide in old-fashioned pins. So it'll look really clean, but it'll get rid of some of that excess cable and give a little bit more room for the radiator and possibly an intercooler at some point in the future. I don't know. We will be removing the sway bar brackets, cleaning up that when we do the shave on the engine bay. I still have to remove the horns. I still have to cut out the lower portion of the core support. But I thought it would be fun to take all the stuff that we've removed so far from the car that is not going to be going back in, put it on the scale, and see how much weight we're going to save. Because with these Fox bodies, you know, weight transfer is a lot about getting the power to transfer to the rear tires. So what we have here is some of the stuff that is going to be permanently out of the car. I've just decided this stuff is not going back in. windshield washer fluid, windshield wiper bracket or power motor, the cruise control servo, some of the extra brackets and cables for everything, the air conditioning compressor. I do have the power steering pump in a bag. We're going to be weighing everything, so let's get started. I'm going to write everything down, and then I'll show you what the number is at the end. All right, so we got our total, and we are looking at 104 pounds off the front of the car. Now, 35 pounds of that is going to be the battery that will go to the back trunk of the car, because when we put the Scott rod panels in, it is going to eliminate the ability to put a battery in the front. So we'll put the battery in the back. It'll be better for weight transfer anyways. A lot of guys that ride Foxes and have been working on these for a long time know that the weight transfer is really important on getting those tires to hook and lowering your ETs. Now, I am not trying to build a race car, like a full-time trailered race car. I want something that I can drive. I want a nice street machine, something that can get out there, crank it up, it's reliable, but it can lay down the rubber on the pavement, and it can hurt some feelings on some other cars on the road. You know what I'm talking about. So let's get back to work. It looks like it's going to start raining any minute. So I'll keep going and we'll just go see how much we can get done. Alright, so we have our new engine lift plate. In order to get this thing to fit, it wasn't clearancing the fuel rails, so we had to take the fuel rails off, and I had to go make another trip to the store to get some bolts. I'm not sure which ones are going to work best, so we got some 1 inch and we got some 3/4 inch, just for so you guys know, these are 5/16 with an 18 pitch thread, and we got some washers. Let's go ahead and run these down. So we have jacked the car up, and I did pull it a little further into the garage. I have it resting on the jack stands and on the jack for safety, and we will move around back here. I will go ahead and chalk the tire a little bit just for some extra caution. And we are going to be draining the fluid, taking off the exhaust, taking out the drive shaft, and getting ready to pull the motor. Let's go. And just like that, we are draining. You know what, guys? That fluid actually looks really good. The guy I bought the car from told me that the transmission was worked on at one point. It's supposed to have a 22 or 2400 stall converter. I'm not really sure about that. I guess we could find out at some point, but it is worked a little on the inside, and it has a shift kit or some kind of modified valve body. So we'll let this finish draining and we'll catch back up.
This rain will not leave me alone.
So the engine and transmission are out. Everything kind of came out without a hitch. It was a little bit of a pain to get the drive shaft bolts out, but a little heat made that easy work. I'm just happy that we were able to get this done through all the rain and the weather. It's just been holding me back so much. It seems like every time I have time to work on the car, it ends up raining, and then when I'm out and about, it's not raining. And it just slammed us on Saturday, and we had a little bit of a break on Sunday. So I've just been trying to go at it a couple hours here and there. It probably took a total of 3 or 4 days of working on this just to bring out this video. But I did promise you guys that we were going to be putting out a video every single week. So I'm gonna do my damnedest to make sure that that happens. I have the radiator bar right there, kind of mocked up. We're gonna get to that on the next one. We're gonna be welding that in, grinding down the engine bay, and getting it all ready to feather it out and get it shaved. Now here's where the fun part comes in, because we get to start the body work and really making a change in this engine bay to see what it's gonna look like afterward. All right guys, I'm done, I'm whooped, I'm calling it a night. But if you enjoy content like this, please give it a thumbs up. As always, thanks for stopping in, and we'll catch you on the next one.